Welcome back to another Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. So, Jazz Chisholm, not great in the home run derby. Pretty pathetic. There's some pretty great stuff on Twitter. Not a great showing overall, but I want to talk about the Yankees' second draft pick from day two. Fourth round, left-handed pitcher Pico Cone, 134th overall, left-handed pitcher from Mississippi State. He's one of the top pitching prospects coming out of the state of Alabama. He had Tommy John, surprise, in 2023. Fastball 91 to 94, pretty good movement. Tops out at 95. Plays up a little bit because hitters have trouble picking it up. It's just sort of three quarters arm slot with a flat angle approach. So he's able to get on top and has a lot of carry and ride. Has a good sweeping slider, low 80s, then occasionally mixes in a low 80s changeup. That's decent, but there's room for improvement there. Not overpowering, but has a high floor with good mound presence. And he came back. He just wanted to get better for his last year. So we'll see. I think they draft these types of left-handed pitchers for a couple of reasons. One, they're left-handed. Two, he already had Tommy John. And then three, I think he's topping out at 95 with all of the player development and and things that the Yankees farm system and player development team can extrapolate. They can probably get him up to 97, probably 98. So when they're looking at a floor, can this guy throw low to mid 90s? And if that's the case, we can probably get him up maybe to 97, 98 pretty consistently. And so if that's the case, I think that slider plays really well. That changeup could be very, very good if he's able to increase his velocity. So second draft pick again, left-handed pitcher Pico Cone out of Mississippi State. We'll see how it works out. Yeah. So we got to talk about what Aaron Boone said about Anthony Volpe. Michael Kay was talking about Anthony Volpe and basically defending him, saying that he is a good Major League Baseball player and a good shortstop, but has not played well this season, which is accurate. The numbers reflect that. And he said Boone really defends this guy and said, after a press conference, offhandedly, off the mic, I think, that he's freaking elite. Anthony Volpe is not an elite player. Um, I know he's a hometown kid. Boone defends him to the ends of the earth, and but he's struggled both offensively and defensively. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Um, when like Boone was frustrated with Volpe, and I know he is privately, but publicly he defends him constantly, and said, "quote He's bleeping elite," after just being defensive about him, but he talks about his elite potential work ethic and defensive flashes, but I mean, that's all it is. It's just a flash in the pan. There are brief moments, but there's absolutely no consistency. Yes, he has a ton of potential and work ethic, but it's at the end of the day, you're a Major League Baseball player. You need results, and he has not been able to accumulate those. Um, he's good base runner and prepares well, but he has a low on base percentage. Who cares if you're a good base runner if you cannot get on base? Um, and it just underscores the lack of statistical results from him. And I know the fans want him to come down a little bit more on Volpe, and he hasn't. I think honestly the reason he hasn't is because no other options. What else is he supposed to do? Um, because they don't have another option at shortstop, and he's serviceable. And if you don't have someone better to replace him, why are you going to rip the player? I mean, Michael Kay has said this a couple times before, and I do agree with him. You can't rip the players in 2025. You're going to lose that battle. You will get fired. I think there's a reason that he has maintained his job for a long time in a difficult place like New York. You can't rip players anymore. If you do that, uh, you're the one that's gonna go. The these players are locked up with guaranteed contracts for a long time, especially if you rip um, uh, certain players. Obviously, you can never rip Judge or anything like that, but I think that's one of the reasons he just doesn't have a replacement to fill that role. I do think he likes him. I do think privately he would say that he's definitely frustrated and has not met expectations. Um, but this is Boone's managerial approach, like maintaining confidence and support for young talent, publicly labeling Volpe as elite, even we know that's complete bullshit, to reinforce his belief that Volpe can fulfill the star potential that the organization sees within him. I think we have a big enough sample size where it's just not there. Um, it would have happened by now. You just don't. It doesn't happen after like 4+ years, and we haven't seen enough wow plays from him. We've seen a couple good plays in a few key situations, but they're very far and few between. Uh, he's not elite. Let's just leave it at that. So there's a really interesting package deal that I want to talk about, and I wouldn't saying it's crazy. Like, what would be crazy is like the Yankees get Jose Ramirez. Like, that's crazy. He has a no trade clause. I don't think they'll ever get rid of him. He's locked up till 2028. But I wanted to break down the possibility of acquiring Dylan Cease, Robert Suarez, and Jake Cronenworth from the Padres. Those are three guys that the Yankees could really, really use. And his gained traction in the rumor mill, and I think the deal would look something like, so the Yankees would send a package of high upside MLB prospects, not George Lombard Jr., but prominent pieces like Spencer Jones, their number two prospect, and Rafael Flores, Brock Selvage, Yorbit Vivas to the Padres for C. Suarez and Cronenworth. This trade would address multiple Yankee needs: high-end starter in the rotation, Cease, obviously, a high-leverage bullpen arm, Suarez, which they definitely need, and a versatile infielder in Cronenworth, who uh, can play second base, but he can also play third, and he can hit, and he's left-handed, which is great for Yankee Stadium. Why it makes sense? Well, Cease is an impending free agent. He's not expected to re-sign with the Padres, making him a good bargaining chip. Suarez is an all-star closer with an opt-out after 2025, so it increases the Padres' motivation to trade and not lose anything. And then Cronenworth is owed significant long-term money, 60 million, and has been a solid, not standout, but contributor. And I think he is a piece that could really help this team. He's a winner, and I could just see him on a World Series championship team. Um, and then the Padres are sort of on the edge of contention, but looking at a payroll crunch um, and significant long-term commitments. So, like, trading these players would relieve about $30 million from their 2026 payroll and add controllable prospects to retool for their future. So, from the Yankees' perspective, filling the rotation hole left by injuries and struggling arms with Cease immediately upgrades the postseason rotation. Suarez fortifies a bullpen that's underperformed in season injuries, and then Cronenworth becomes a quality left-handed bat and utility infielder, which they absolutely need. Um, you're going to give up Spencer Jones and some other good prospects, but you're in a win now scenario, and you got to do it. Um, you're so close to winning the World Series. You made it last year. You didn't get there because you didn't make contact and you didn't play good defense. Uh, these are three key pieces that you need, and I think would be a fantastic package um, for the Yankees. It aligns with the team's long-term interests, and then providing them talent, and then short-term financial costs. Um, so I think it's a viable thing, and I think they should do it. Come on, come on, Cashman, make a move, buddy. Last, just want to talk about injuries and transactions. Not a ton. It's good that some of the players using the All Star break to get healthy. Luis Heel looked pretty good, um, throwing 50 pitches, 36 strikes in his first rehab stint in Double A Somerset. Really, really live fastball. Good breaking ball by 86 mile an hour sliders that were really, really sharp. And then fastball, in the mid to upper 90s. But that slider looks really, really good. He struck out six. Allowing just one run on two hits with a walk. So I think he's close, and I think they need him back definitely for the start of the second half of the season, and I think the the All-Star break really comes at a good time where they're not playing super well, and the Red Sox are super hot, so it kind of cools them off as well. Um, a couple other things: Schmidt obviously done for the season. Yarborough possibly July, resumed throwing program, and then Mark Leiter Jr. You know, a little bit more testing. I wouldn't hold your breath on him. I think that's another reason you make a case for Suarez and why they need him as a bullpen piece as well. So Cruz, it's going to be a while for him, and De Los Santos still building up. But again, this is why Boone needs or Cashman needs to make a move at the deadline. And I again, Cease, Cronenworth, Suarez, really viable trade package that the Yankees should really pursue. That's been your Yankees latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Join me tomorrow for the next one. And you guys take care. Appreciate the support. Like and subscribe below. We appreciate it. Take care.